the company and all of you. So first of all, I'd like to thank you all for taking time on a Saturday to be on the call. I'm really appreciative of that. So in order to make this more efficient and, to have clarity on some of the outstanding questions that have been coming up, we have bunched the commentary and the discussion with 4 different sections. Mr. Raju, our CFO, will primarily talk about questions related to Media Mint acquisition, subsidiary results, and related areas. Mr. Satish would talk about the future audio business that we are trying to do, where we stand in terms of acquisition and things like that. And Mr. Peshwa would answer questions around DOM settlement and the response mechanism that we are trying to implement and trying to improve every day. While it's still going through its own growing pains, I think we will get there. The rest of the questions I will try to answer, and then we'll open up for questions. This is broadly the idea. It's going to be a short call, and I only would like to say that let's try to be civil with each other today. Okay, so that's the broad idea. Mr. Raju, if you can take over and then go through the process, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good evening and a very happy New Year to you all. So, as Mr. Suresh was telling, basically, let me start with providing a status of the forensic audit. We have information sought by the regulator to the best of abilities and promptly. Given the fact that it is a detailed information for 6 years and 10 subsidiaries, the authorities seem to be working through them. We are waiting for their report on the information that we've already submitted. One thing we need to understand is, and also to appreciate, is the fact that the SEBI and Deloitte teams has to go through a high volume of data. So it may be taking a little longer time. Also, one more thing is our business model is unique. I mean, it's not like a conventional business. So there will be certain items, the accounting treatment related to certain items will be quite different from conventional businesses. Coming to status of the annulment of shares issued to Media Mint founders. We received a couple of questions if there is any cash payment was made for the transaction and what's the status of the share annulment process. So the process of annulment, needs us to file an application with the exchanges and the NCLT to get an official approval. And once that is done, we'll be filing the application with the Register of Companies. So we have been advised by our legal counsel that NCLT route is the only way, to annul the issued shares in a listed company. And as the deal was not fully consummated, no cash was paid by us to Media Mint people. One more question was, regarding subsidiaries, audited financials of subsidiaries. As you are aware, all our consolidated group company financials are audited to the best standards of our auditing by our auditors, in line with all the loader and company affairs requirements. Coming specifically to individual foreign subsidiaries in various parts of the world, each of them follow governance mechanism as applicable in their country of operation. The appropriate audited financials are available at the corporate headquarters of the group. Also, to give you comfort, one of the most important subsidiaries in Israel is audited by EY, Israel. We have not uploaded the reports, due to certain outstanding legal disputes from the past. We will do the needful once we get past them. There was one more question about details on the notification shared by the company authorizing CFO to settle on behalf of the company. This settlement was for an old case regarding the share transactions made in the past. And there was multiple questions on updates regarding the shares traded on 5th and 6th of December. They are not getting settled. In this regard, I'd like to say that the company or the promoters were not involved in the issue. Our understanding is that this is an issue from the exchanges side, and the exchanges or your broker will be able to help you with this. All the company is able to do at this point of time is to keep following up on behalf of our shareholders with the exchanges. So these are the questions from my side, answered from my side, and I now hand it over to Mr. Satish GT to answer his section. Thank you. Satish sir, over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Raju, and good afternoon to all. Just want to give a brief update on the status of our audio acquisition. We continue to be extremely keen on developing an enhanced digital audio capability. Given that we are working on various steps to complete the transaction, it may not be prudent or possible to update day-to-day developments. However, we can broadly say that all due processes are being adhered to and followed thoroughly towards completing these transactions. We'll keep the investor community informed when we conclude the same. We'll provide the next update on in the upcoming investor call scheduled in February. That's all from my end. I'll hand it over to Mr. Peshwa.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Satish. Good afternoon and good evening, wherever to all of you, each of you, once again. So this is Peshwa Acharya. I wanted to update you on a few questions and queries which were around the DOM settlement. So that was one of the things. So as you appreciate, matters between companies, especially that operate in different countries, take time to settle, and come to the final understanding. The discussions are actually still going on with the present owners of DOM, and this is actually on a weekly and monthly basis. We are constantly making it, and one of the challenges was to identify a vehicle for payment between India and the country, which is Korea. That was one of the challenges, and we have now decided to work through a classic trade finance route of SBLC from bank that has both India and Korean connection. So this was a little bit of an executional bottleneck. The paperwork is being done now. Though we are not committing any deadlines now, but the management perceives that the settlement will not be unfinished for a long time. So that's so far as the DOM closure settlement point. I think there were a few questions around quantum computing and update on quantum lab. It's a strategic move for our company to enter into quantum computing, which is really one of the future technologies. And funds and efforts have been allocated to Brightcom Q Labs Innovation Lab, as we have kind of nomenclatured it right now. And once the company can leverage the quantum computing in its business, it will let its investor know through all our public media and public communication. So that's an update as of now. I think the third set of questions and queries were a little bit about the communication and investor relations. So one of the things which we have is we are requesting please contact the company regarding your queries through our investor relation email, ir@brightcomgroup.com. So that is one of the kind of methods. We have also recently opened a number called Investor Relation Contact Center, and this is essentially to address the queries of our shareholders. I think all the necessary documents are being shared. And as we speak, we are establishing a more robust response mechanism, and as it unfolds, please do give us your feedback and how we can improve this response mechanism in the coming months. So thank you. That's from me. And with this, I would like to hand it back to Suresh.
Hi. Thank you, Peshwa. So I think that covers a lot of questions. I know there are quite a few more. There are two ways to go about it. One is let the questions come through and then we answer them as a group. But broadly, before I do that, I'll just try to address one consistent question by a lot of people. This is about the share price correction and what is the reason behind it and such. So let me kind of take a step back and tell you our approach at this. The company, if you look at it in terms of business, has performed very well. For 6 months, the results are already you have seen. They've been, ahead of the guidance of 40% growth we talked about this year. And the next quarter is also looking good. We will publish the results sooner than normal. We're trying to get that out very soon. And then other reasons are, of course, the global markets have been slightly choppy, especially for tech companies. So that has caused all the tech companies to drop. I don't want to take an excuse behind that. Other than that, there are also some outstanding issues that took more time than what we anticipated. So we maybe went a little ahead of this thing to go ahead and talk about them. I personally take full responsibility for being ebullient at times when we notice rapid progress in an urgency to inform you all. And as a company, we believe that we have to take a more calmer stand on such things. So this is one thing that could have caused anticipation and some amount of disappointment. And but as the team has just updated you, we are working diligently to make the group come out of all the ghosts of our past and shine brightly in 2023. We feel that we put so many years of effort and so many years of energy into the company. All the teams have worked very hard to bring the company to this state, and I'm very positive we will start seeing market will start recognizing our effort and energy. I'll leave it at that. This is very broad, high-level answer to lot of questions that came up. And let's go to the question answers, and then we'll try to answer the questions as they come up. Hello?
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. If you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad and wait for your turn to ask the question. If you would like to withdraw your request, you may do so by pressing star and 1 again. First question comes from Vaibhav Kare, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, Mr. Vaibhav, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon and a very happy New Year to everyone.
Very, very happy. Please go ahead.
So my question is that forensic audit, it's taking like a much longer time. It has been already like around 1 year since the investors and everyone is waiting for that, and we do not know like how long more it can take. So you can say it's like a government process done by SEBI, and there have been examples in the past where it has taken like more than maybe 3 years, 4 years, and in one of the cases I was reading, it took even 6 years to complete the forensic audit. So my suggestion is this, like, or maybe it's a suggestion from any other investor as well. Why don't like BCG hire any other independent consultant like EY or KPMG to do its separate audit where it can audit all its subsidiaries and give like a clean sheet on everything, including the impairment issue which was raised by SEBI, so that forensic audit is going on, but it will have some authoritative approval that okay, BCG is clean and it has been done. The clean sheet has been given by an authorized party. So that will instill a confidence in these investors. Okay, there is some sort of indication that there's a clean sheet on all the audit issues. So if that is possible, so it will be a good help for everyone.
Interesting point. We will evaluate and see how we can do it. Given also what has happened is, bandwidth is getting stretched. We answering questions and managing operations and such. So we will see how to do it. We are hoping something, if something sooner comes, then we won't have to invest all the time, energy to prove it. But to your point, we are waiting for this DOM payment to be done and be done with it. Then we will be in a position to upload the audited financials that we have already submitted to the SEBI onto our website, so people can get comfort from there as well. So that is one option we want to do once the DOM, which is hopefully much sooner than in our control, then what will happen with the authority. That is one thought also we are looking at.
Okay. But at least you can at least think about
this. Is a good point. Yeah, this is a new suggestion. I have to take it back to my audit committee and my board and see how they feel about it. Again, we have to look at bandwidth, people, all those things. We will definitely consider it, Mr. Vaibhav. No question. It's a good question. Good suggestion.
And sir, one more question, if I can. So there was a pledging of shares that happened, and because of that, the promoter shareholding was shown as less. So in the future, or when do you expect those shares to exactly appear in the promoter shareholding, or do you expect the promoter shareholding will increase, or maybe because of the pledging issue that has happened? So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, again, it's this is again with SEBI, and then we are also fighting to get back shares and things like that. So it's a very difficult answer to give. I wish I could tell you. But in terms of, they're not sitting with any one person right now, and they're not going to come into the market and spoil the party. That much I know. So whoever has to give it back to us, they'll have to buy in the market and give. So if that happens, I will be the happiest person because my holding will go up. But we have to see how that will play out.
Okay. Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Vaibhav.
Thank you, sir. The next question comes from Tushar Jadhav from Affinity X. Please go ahead.
First of all, Happy New Year. Am I audible?
Happy New Year. Yes, it's very audible. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Actually, I have sent you the list of questions. Now, you have said that in quarter 4 we will have a DII meeting. So, what is the update on it?
Let me answer that.
I think best answer would be from Mr. Raju. He's working on a strategy there. Mr. Raju, maybe you can tell us. Between Mr. Raju and Peshwa, they are working out a way. I'll let them answer this.
Yeah. Coming to the investor calls and other things, we are having a concerted strategy, trying to get more DIIs and FIIs on board. So we expect them, we are looking forward to them, to stay with us for a longer period. And once we get a few insights into that, we'll tell our long-term strategy on how do we go about onboarding them and keeping them stay with us together for a long time. So the effort is on for sure. we'll keep you posted as we progress.
Yeah.
I just want to add one more input. This is Peshwa here.
Yeah,
Hello?
Peshwa, go ahead.
Yeah, Peshwa, I just wanted to add more. Yeah, one more input to, I think, Mr. Tushar Jadhav. He asked this question.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So one more input for Mr. Tushar Jadhav and for the rest, which is, in terms of each of the DFIs and FSI, actually FIIs, they have their own set of, protocol and the way they invest in companies. And the right investment philosophy is actually to invest in companies for a certain period. And like Mr. Raju said, we are kind of doing the process. And, so I just wanted to tell you that each one has a different set of protocol and a set of things they look at. Yeah, and I think we are actively into it. That is the only comment I wanted to say.
Yes, sir. One more question is, the company is doing great in terms of growth, but the valuation is not reflective. The company have huge research and FCF. Is there something we are planning to reward investors? We can come up with like a Brightcom Trust to buy the stake from the open market, or we have a ESOP Trust to buy 5% stake, or we can come with buyback. That is also one of the options.
Correct. Yes. All these are being evaluated. We are waiting for the new year to come in. Definitely all these are looked at. So we do have funds in the bank, and then we have various alternatives. In fact, we set up an employee stock option plan way back. Have not yet started doing anything on that, and that needs to be also activated. But, the point is, we have raised funds to grow the company. So that trade-off we are trying to figure out. And if the general sentiment and the mood starts to go in the right direction, we would rather conserve the cash to actually build the business. So that has been our preference. I think I've mentioned that in the past. But we are looking at all alternatives now.
Yeah. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Tushar.
Thank you, sir. The next question comes from Mr. Kapil, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello. Am I audible?
Hello. Yes. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity, sir. I have basically three questions. My first question is regarding the Intent IQ partnership that we have heard some times back. What basically the additional benefit that we got last quarter in terms of revenue, and what kind of partnership revenue, sharing based or service based, that we have with them?
That breakup, I unfortunately don't have it handy. Let me get back to you. Maybe we'll try to upload that. I don't have it handy with me, sir.
Okay.
And it actually has to come from our subsidiary in Israel. They will have the breakup, and we want to see how much. It's a very good point. I don't have personally that breakup. I'm sure within the finance team, they are working on this. I will get back to you on that.
What's the partnership model that we are sharing? It's revenue based or service based?
Depends upon the kind of advertising campaign there is. If we are doing, impression based, which is fixed payout, then there is a mix of flat fee plus performance. And then if it's totally performance, then they're also going to be on performance. So it's a mix. I mean, it's a very, complex agreement. But the idea is the collaboration should help us in monetizing unmonetizable traffic, as you clearly understand. Because once you are able to monetize this traffic, so more publishers will come to you, and you have more traffic flowing through. That is the idea. Given where the world is going with non-cookie environments and such, it's very powerful.
Okay. My second question is regarding the equity dilution. We have seen that around 100% equity dilution in the past, and we understood that due to low free cash flows, we need it for growth, whether organic or inorganic, or to get some strategic investors. But my question over here is why we go with so high equity dilution at such low PE and didn't consider debt as an alternate, or we could have balance of both.
No, see, we were just coming out of a bad debt situation, Mr. Kapil. 2021, we paid off all kinds of bad awkward situations that we were in. We became debt-free. Today, we are a debt-free company. So I value that more, given, whatever happens in the market, nothing can touch us. Because we are a debt-free company, we have a positive free cash flow company. So we are at very, very solid ground. If there is debt, it is always danger, especially in tech companies. So we are not a cement factory where we are setting up some, large manufacturing unit and that gets paid out. So we have taken a strategic decision to kind of stay out of debt as much as we can. It put us back by many years. So, once burned, twice shy. So it is the reason why we stayed out of debt. And it is okay. Dilution is all right. I think longer term, it will all play out well. People at that time, if you really look at when the dilution was happening, and share price was whatever, even at this multiple today, they are at close to 7 times the money they came in at. So I still believe it was the right decision.
Okay. I just have an opinion that why we didn't consider that. And what is the issue with bad debt? I didn't get.
We had all this debt that we had to pay off over the years. We inherited debt through an acquisition. We acquired a listed company called LGS back in 2012-13, which is how we became a listed company. And we had to write off all the receivables, and we ended up with their debt. And it created a lot of negativity. We ended up paying close to 300 crores from our cash flows and fully paid and closed out, to make it a debt-free company. So I like to operate like that. It's a tech company, it's always better to operate that way. Gives you more freedom to grow and take it, which is the reason why we did it.
Thanks, Suresh, for insight. I have one last question. I just recall that there is some issues in terms of reporting the promoter shareholdings. What is the actual promoter holding we should consider when this issue will be resolved? And could you help us understand a bit what is the exact issue over there?
Yes. I think we did address it in the past. See, there is before March of this year, the promoter holding was about 20%, 22%, and then post the bonus and all that, some dilution and all that. But there was a portion of the promoter holding which was pledged actually, but basically it was transferred for a off-market kind of like a pledge situation, and we were reporting that as promoter holding. This was okay according to a certain clause in the past. However, we were told that doesn't work. You have to report the actuals in March. So in March, we decided to report as is without those pledged shares. And I personally acquired some shares. So after that, we are at 18%. So we went from 22% to 18 odd % in terms of promoter holding. So in terms of the overall holding of promoter, yes, we are actually as strong as or whatever before. So there is no challenge per se. Now the question is, have these shares that have been pledged, will they come back into the market and will they spoil the share price? I think is the primary worry. And those shares have been pledged to certain parties, and we are trying to get them back, and they don't have it. So there is a whole issue that's going on, and we are working with them and the authorities to try to get this all sorted out. So hence I'm not able to talk much about it, which has caused more and more questions. That is the main problem. This is nothing to do with any of the shares, the share price increase and reselling in the market. None of those. None of those. This all happened way before the share price grew.
I think
more of a
it is
reporting.
significant equity. I think it's a significant equity around, I think, 15 to 20%, I believe, right?
15 or so. Yeah, correct.
Okay, thanks a lot, Suresh, for the insight. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. The next question comes from Mr. Krishnappa Shivakumar, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Krishnappa.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year to management of BCG. Good evening. Very good evening. And same to you, sir. Same to you all. No doubt our company is doing a lot of good work, and we are very proud of holding shareholders of BCG. But one thing, sir, in today's conference call, have you addressed any new questions, any new news, sir? Have you given to our shareholders, sir? Same old answers, the same old, sir, the same old. Sir, tell me, sir.
Go ahead. Please go ahead. You complete. I'll listen. Yeah. Please complete.
Sir, we are hearing the same old answers, same old narrations, and same. That's all. Whatever questions arising in our shareholders' minds that cannot be resolved or cannot be answered by your management, sir. That is only concern, but don't think otherwise. But being a shareholder of faithful shareholder of BCG, we all are hurt by the recent developments.
Oh. Okay.
Please answer, sir.
We believe we have given an update, but you are entitled to your point of view, sir. We believe we have given an update on where we stand, and I can guarantee you all this will be done. We are not trying to do any, we're not hiding anything. We're telling as it is.
No. I am not. I swear, I am not.
I know. Yeah, go ahead. You continue. You are saying something.
No. I swear that I am not against any of the acts performed by the company. We are very proud being a shareholder of your company. But only one hurting is that a company is doing such a wonderful job, and retail shareholders are eroding their wealth.
No, we are.
That is the main concern.
We are very aware of that. We are also, and I agree with you, because it hurts to see when the company is not performing or having debt issues and other challenges, the share price going down is understandable. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, the share price, the company has been doing well. Yeah, company has been doing well, and unfortunately, it is not reflecting in the share price. And this is what I mentioned in my particular. I said there are few reasons why it happened. If you want, I can repeat those points. So those are the reasons.
No, sir.
One is the global market. Few outstanding.
I aware, sir.
And we will try to address that. I will try to do it.
Okay.
We'll try to close this. That is what. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. All the best, management, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The next question comes from Mr. Bhupender Singh, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Suresh. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Am I audible? Yeah. I had basically two questions regarding forensic audit report and regarding the audit of subsidiaries, which have already been replied by you. Also, I had a question regarding buyback of shares and ESOP, which has also been replied by you. My another suggestion is that we must have as a company the vision 2030 rather, or vision for 5 years or 10 years. Okay. Vision that is a short-term vision and long-term vision, so that we can review it and the investors come to know what is happening. Again, Mr. Suresh, you want to?
Can I? It's a good point. It's a good point. if you allow me, I'd like to talk about this point for about 2 3
Okay. Then my question will continue afterwards.
You can continue because I don't want to lose this point. It's a very interesting point because as a technology company, you have to keep in mind you can have announcing numbers or announcing guidance is not vision, right? Vision is about product. Right? The product itself, we are in a very interesting space, which is advertising, online and digital, and the product itself is consumed by businesses around the world and how the end users are using internet. So that is where that's changed. So with that context, the world is changing every day. I'll give you one example, sir. Because I thought it was very appropriate to mention it, hence to budge in here. On December 1st, there is a site called OpenAI. You might have heard of it. OpenAI.
Yeah, correct.
They launched something called ChatGPT. You might be aware, sir. So in exactly 5 days, they have acquired 1 million users. Sir. Because this is what ChatGPT is. It is an artificially intelligent call center answer, smart person who's sitting on the other side of the call center. You can ask anything and the answers are coming. It has blown away the entire market, the entire tech space. Everybody is shocked by this solution. In fact, they are talking about this threatening some of the larger search players like Google and others. That is the nature of the business we are. So things evolve. So what we can do to be on top of it is we have to be on top of evolution of technology, have a tech mindset, and build the right team who are nimble enough to take advantages of the changes in the marketplace. That is the approach we are taking. So for me to publish a vision without knowing what will be the next thing in the ecosystem that will take off and actually have people using it would be pointless. So with that, I'll stop. I just had to actually butt in because it's a beautiful development and just gives you a sense of how this entire environment changes and how we, as somebody who provide advertising and provide revenue for these great products, will have to be on top of these things.
Appreciate your answer, Mr. Suresh. But regarding AI and ML, something can be told to the investors also that what is happening in this field because very few talk has happened as far as the AI and ML are concerned. Firstly,
correct.
And
we are actually we have a lot of tools in AI and ML. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Suresh, we want you to come among us the top 10 big industries of India. So there are 3 lakh shareholders who are behind you. And if you progress, we all 3 lakh shareholders will also progress. If you become rich, we all shareholders will become rich. There is a big responsibility on your shoulders to show your worth. Second, lastly, please don't commit anything which cannot be achieved. If CEO commits something, it has to be considered as done. Otherwise, you will spoil your reputation. That's my advice to you. That's all what I wanted to say. Thank you so much. And we are the long-term investors of BCG and will remain long-term investors of BCG till you become rich and we become rich. Thank you so much. Thank you for sparing.
Thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate that thoughts. Thank you very much. I think you're running a little short on the final. You want to have one more question and then I have a little closing I want to do. So can you have one more question and then we can go to my closing statements.
Sure, sir. The next question comes from Sugan K, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Mr. Sugan. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, sir. I'm also happy, proud investor since 2013, sir. So long time. So my only question is, some time back we were discussing about Concall listing. Is it still in plan? Are we considering that? So that is my first question. Second question is, India is now in a very good.
Can you repeat your first question? I missed it. Mr. Sugan, the first question I missed. Can you please repeat the first question?
Yeah, abroad listing, sir.
listing abroad, overseas listing.
Yeah. Yes. Any update there?
Go ahead.
Is it still in plan? Yeah. Second question is, sir,
next question.
India, 5G is rolling out in India. Okay. So I think it's a good time for us to enter in this business. Is there any plan, like our standalone entity will expand business in India? Is there anything in plan roadmap, sir? So these are my two questions.
Any other questions? Two questions. Okay. Abroad listing, I know we have been talking about it on and off. At this point, markets across the world are not conducive, so I think it's in the back burner right now. We will look at it when the markets are conducive. So that is number one. 5G rollout, yes, you are absolutely right. It's amazing what's going to happen once that comes out. We will not be part of the rollout or anything, but we will work with the players in providing revenue and in providing advertising opportunities through that system. So we are actively looking at that. We have not made any breakthroughs, but once that comes, it will absolutely start contributing to the standalone numbers. So I'm hoping that we will start making a few transactions, a few deals together in that space in the coming year. Let's see how it plays out.
Okay. Sure, sir. Just one final question, sir. Are we planning to do anything in product development? I mean, any products in AI, ML, any physical products that can be sold to the consumer, B2C products, are we trying to develop anything? Is there anything in future roadmap, sir?
Not this year, sir. Not this year. Maybe next year.
Okay. Similar to like Concall, something like that.
Yeah, understood. Not this year.
Okay. Thank you so much. All the best, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So do we have time for one more question? Or no, actually this is another 10 minutes. Okay. So I'll just go ahead with my closing comments. I just wanted to say a few things to my closest people, my shareholders. Let me just a moment. I'll just pull this up. I had it written down so that I don't miss any points. So I'm grateful for the opportunity today for all of you to speak with me and with the team, with our management team. And I hope we were able to answer all your questions to the best of our abilities and best of the situation right now. As a point to make, we have come a long way since our humble beginnings as a small team with big dreams. And our dream is to revolutionize digital marketing industry. This started 24 years ago in the minds of two classmates, myself and Vijay, and now it's grown since then to whatever. Today we are a leading global provider of digital marketing platforms and services in 25 operating offices across the world, servicing our global clientele. We deliver, as you are aware, tech solutions and successful advertising campaigns for intermediaries like ad exchanges, networks, end businesses, advertisers, and publishers, also ad agencies. So we have built a good group of clientele in the process. As we look to the future, I'm happy to bank on all your continued support towards our growth and success. And at Brightcom, we have always prioritized building strong foundation and sustainable business model, which is focused on fundamentals rather than short-term sentiments. We believe that once you are strong on fundamentals, short-term sentiments can come and go. However, we also recognize the importance of innovation, which some of the points brought about by some of the callers today, like Mr. Bhupender Singh and such. Importance of innovation, and are committed to investing in new areas of growth and future technologies that can create value for the company and for the shareholder. So with that, I have no doubt that with your continued investment and confidence in our team, we will continue to thrive and achieve even greater heights in the years ahead. Thank you for your support and being